by Prize Picks. Love me some Prize Picks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, code CLNS. They'll match your deposit, match up to $100. And if you want to spice up your NFL Sunday, get started with Prize Picks right now. Prize Picks is a skill-based, real money daily fantasy sports game, and if you're looking to have more fun on game day, look no further than Prize Picks. Do you want to play alongside some Prize Picks favorite players like rapper Meek Mill and comedian Andrew Schultz? You can now find community plays in the promos tab to view entries some of the biggest names of the Prize Picks community each week. Prize Picks even offers a reboot policy so that your players stay and play even if one of your players gets injured. For football and basketball games, if you have a player who exits the game first half and does not return in the second half, that player is rebooted. Prize Picks is the only daily fantasy sports platform with an injury insurance policy. For tonight's NBA game, I got Isaiah Hartenstein getting more than 9.5 points per game and Pascal Siakam getting more than 20.5. So get started with Prize Picks right now. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, code CLNS. They'll match your deposit, match up to $100. And if you want to save some money, then you got to get started with Prize Picks right now. It's PrizePicks.com/CLNS, code CLNS for deposit, match up to $100. Why is it code CLNS? Because that's our ad agency partner. Use code CLNS. It's real easy. 4 letters, again, $100 match when you sign up. So download the app today. The link will be in the description and comment section of this video. It's PrizePicks.com/CLNS, code CLNS. Welcome to the One Pride Podcast. So we talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors in and off season. And it's off season for the Detroit Lions, and the NFL season starts over a little over a month. And that's when free agency starts. And we get the NFL draft and everything coming up. And it's crazy because when you're in the season as long as we have been, we're not used to this. So usually, being a Detroit Lions fan, our offseason started a long time ago. And now it's not. So it's like, holy crap, the season's about to start over again, and it's just beginning. So we're going to go over the latest Lions news and rumors for you folks today. We're going to do some QA, have some fun for the day, and get into it. Now, I already see people laughing about an image on the thumbnail of this video, and that's because the Detroit Lions hired a new coach. We got a new defensive lines coach. And running game, and that is Terrell Williams from the Tennessee Titans. We poached their coach, their defensive line coach. We got a new one here. And from what I'm getting from them, the fans of the Tennessee Titans, is they're pretty upset about it. They think they lost a really good coach. And look, you know our defensive line, that's been one of the biggest issues, I say, all season. We've been talking about it. And so we got a new defensive lines coach. It's good. We don't know what the current one's going to do, but we know we just got a new one right now. So happy for him to be part of the Detroit Lions. Some welcome in our new coach from the Tennessee Titans. Really cool that we got Terrell Williams. So welcome to the Detroit Lions. Yes, Aaron Glenn is staying in Detroit. Dan Quinn hired as Washington Commanders' new head coach. That means Aaron Glenn will be a Detroit Lion for 2024. We got both offense and defensive coordinators coming back. What are the odds of that happening? I thought that would be extremely unlikely, but we're bringing it back. We're bringing the coaches back. That took us to almost the big game. Took us to the game before the big game. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So, welcome back, Aaron Glenn. Now, what we need to do with Aaron Glenn is give this man a lot more talent. Yes, Ben Johnson is coming back as well. He stayed in Detroit. So if you didn't know, that was yesterday. Ben Johnson is in Detroit. Aaron Glenn is in Detroit. Everybody is staying. Besides, we got a new defensive line coach. That is it. Also, Dan Campbell and our great general manager, Brad Holmes, was named Coach of the Year and Executive of the Year. Huge, huge for those guys. The Detroit Lions are getting it done. Massive shout out to Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes for being executive and head coach of the year. Very well deserving. Are they perfect? No. We can always complain about, we can always nitpick, and we're always going to do that. And I fully expect everyone to nitpick. That's the way it should be. But we got a hell of a general manager, a hell of a head coach. We got a hell of a team, even though we didn't end the way we wanted to. We're foundation of the Detroit Lions franchise is good for a long time, a very long time. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's get to, I don't know, 25 likes. We got 96 in the building. Slowly coming here. Smash that like button. Brad Holmes, hell of a general manager. We got Miss Hamp, hell of an owner. We got Mr. Campbell, hell of a coach. So we got the pieces in place for this football team. Shout out to everybody right there. Video information. I'm making a video. I literally stopped making it right before I went live, and I'm going to continue to make it as soon as I'm done, is the top 20 free agents for the Detroit Lions. That video will be dropped tomorrow. I'm spending a lot of time the last 48 hours on free agency in the draft. I'm jumping into it full head of steam, and we got the top 20 free agents that will be dropped to you tomorrow. It includes predominantly, I think you all can see this, is guard, cornerback, defensive line. That is pretty much 95% of it. So just an FYI there. Let's see, Motor City understands the Lions need to improve year to year. Players, coaches, if you don't get better, other teams will pass you by 110%. Devin Davis, Aaron Glenn is staying. Yes, Aaron Glenn is staying. Ben Johnson is staying. We have the same, we're bringing it back. So, since with Aaron Glenn is staying, we need to give this guy as much talent as humanly possible. No excuses for this defense needs to be in 2024 season. We need to give an edge rusher, another edge rusher. We need to get a cornerback, a number one corner. This defense needs to get completely finished this offseason. It is time to give every single piece of weapon to this man, just like we did with Ben Johnson. Give it to him. No excuses for talent. No excuses at all for this defense. We need to have a defense. I want a defense now. You go from year 3 to year 4 like San Francisco, Baltimore Ravens. It is time for us to have a top 10 defense. Period. Look, the NFC North is going to get better. Our offense can't really get too much better than what it is. It's excellent, right? The special teams, it could get better with the kicker, and that's one of the needs we need is kicker. So we're good everywhere else. So we get a kicker. We're good there at special teams and offense. Besides getting a guard, right, a little bit here. But we need to finish this defense. Who is with me? Who is ready to finish this defense up? We need to finish it up in this draft, in this free agency, and have a defense that matches this offense. It's time. I want the Detroit Lions to go to the Super Bowl in 2024/25. Who is with me? Time to finish the defense. Y for yes and N for no. Blow up the comment section right now. I'm going to name it off. I'm going to name it off to you right now. I'm ready. Dan Lyon. He is ready for this defense to be finished. Let's finish it up. Matt Lewis, 100%. Defense wins championships. It's time. Defense. We have 30 free agents. We have a lot of work to do. Correct. Why? Everybody is with me. It's time. Kurt's with me. Tight's with me. Matt's with me. It's time to finish it up. No more excuses. I don't want to see, well, we didn't have enough to get a corner or no. No excuses. Sutton's going to be here. He's going to be our number 2. But we need to get a number 1, and that will make Sutton look really good, by the way, Detroit Lions fan. He was put in a bad position, all right? So thankfully we got one corner done. We just need to get a number 1, and then it pushes Cam Sutton to number 2, and he'll be much better there. Much, much better. It's the equivalent of having Josh Reynolds right now, but not having St. Brown. We need to get that St. Brown where it pushes Josh Reynolds or Jameson Williams in a good position for our defense. It's time to get our number 1 guy. Okay? And I don't care how we get this cornerback. Free agency, I got the free agent list coming up. There's not a lot of great free agent cornerbacks. In the draft or in a trade. I don't care. Get us a number one corner. All the way in. I agree with 8. He says time to go all the way in. I agree with you, all the way in. And it doesn't mean that you can't stop doing the right draft. Like, you're always going to draft. You're going to draft some offensive players and stuff like that. That's all depth, and that goes with it. It goes with the whole team. You still need to get free agent depth at offense and defense. We know this, and special teams. But we're talking about it is time to get the number one guy for cornerback. It's time to get a number 2 guy at edge. It's time. There's some players I got in this list, and I'm going to name some players off that's on my list for tomorrow. I don't want to go through the whole thing because I don't want you guys to be too much in there. But how about getting a Adoree Jackson? Huh? How about getting a Adoree Jackson, the cornerback from the New York Giants? We can do him. We can get him. He's a good one. Kendall Fuller's out there. He's a good one. Sean Bunting. He's a good one. There's some corners out there. I don't know if it's bona fide number ones, but it'd be a significant upgrade than what we got right now. And then you go into the draft, and you draft your next Darius Slay. SW says, SW Lion, what's up, man? Is this a new, did you change your avatar? SW says, re-sign Moseley to a 1-year prove-it deal. I don't mind anyone doing a prove-it deal. Jalen Johnson in there as well, Kurt. I don't mind doing a prove-it deal, but you can't rely on him. 0, you cannot rely on Emmanuel Moseley, even though he's really good. So you can bring him back to a cheap deal. I don't mind with it, but you need to get a guy you can rely on in 2024. We need a guy that you don't have to worry about it. You know, look, Cam Sutton didn't he play every game, I feel like, and probably close to nearly every snap. He's reliable. We need to get a reliable like that, but I don't mind getting an Emmanuel Moseley. Someone you want to take a chance on, but it's got to be a small deal, right? It's got to be small. Got to be small. I would love to get Jalen Johnson, Josh Prince, by the way. Great cornerback. 4 interceptions this past year. It removes a player from your division rival and brings him to the Detroit Lions. Danielle Hunter removes a player from a division rival, brings him to the Detroit Lions. This is here is what I want to see. I like Josh Allen too. But Danielle Hunter had 16.5 sacks, and I think that right then and there, you get him, you put him in opposite Veda Hutchinson, you have a bona fide number 1 and a bona fide number 1 coming at you. Aiden Hutchinson and Danielle Hunter would maybe the best duo of edge pass rushers coming at anybody. That defensive line would be significantly better if you do that. Imagine if you had somebody opposite of Aiden, and you don't have to do all the corners and safety blitzes. You could leave some of these players out there. You would be giving Aaron Glenn flexibility that he's not had. Period. And I've been on the back of Aaron Glenn. I've been praised him. I've been on his back. But we need to give him everything, okay? It is time. It is time for this defense to be a big part of this football team. I want to rely on the defense like we rely on the offense. It's time. You know, we are so close to a Super Bowl. We were a quarter away from a Super Bowl, folks. And if we can get this defense strengthened, then we should win the NFC North. Remember, the NFC North is going to be a lot better next year. We're talking, you could see 3 playoff teams in the NFC North. You could. Who out there thinks that this, I think the Bears are going to be much improved in 2024. They could be a 9-win team. Wouldn't shock me. Vikings, they're going to be really good if they get a quarterback. That's an if. It all depends, and they're probably going to get one, whether it be Kirk Cousins or somebody else. Green Bay was in the playoffs, beat Dallas. So the NFC North is tough. So we need to get tougher, right? So we need to get better defensively. That's important for the Detroit Lions. Really important. Gibbs' bad fourth down fails costs us Super Bowl visit. The Gibbs fumble, the Josh Reynolds drops, those to me were the reason we're not in the Super Bowl. And look, we could talk about Dan Campbell, and I really don't. I get it sometimes, but maybe he just doesn't trust Michael Badgley that much. And that's another thing is you need to get yourself a really good long-distance kicker. If Badgley came back, I'm like, eh. But if you're one of those guys that want to get that 50-yard field goal and you don't want to worry about going 4th and 2 or 4th and 3 and to get that field goal, we need to get a better kicker, someone that you can rely on more. If you're one of those individuals out there. LM, I agree with you. No more injured players. Unless you want to do like a guy who you don't expect, like an Emmanuel Moseley, right? You're signing him to compete. You're not thinking that this dude's going to really do anything to your team, right? You're just seeing if he'll compete to prove it. Okay, we're not relying on you. We'll see what you can do. But you need to get reliable players. You're 100% LM. We need to get players that are not injury-prone. And again, that goes a lot to the draft and free agency. Hutch needs complimentary, but McNeil needs... I like that Ricky Bobby, and I agree with you. And I agree. Ricky Bobby, and there's a player that on my list, I go all in on a defensive tackle. Defensive tackle. I agree with you. I think that you need to get a Lee McNeil, a compliment DT, and an edge. Look, man, it's the defense. You know how they say it's the economy, stupid, when they talk about politics and voting? It's the defense, stupid. We know what we got on offense and special teams. It's the defense. That is the one. We need to get better. So, yeah, DT, I'm with you. Edge, I'm with you. Corner, I'm with you. I ain't worried about safety. I'm not really worried about linebacker. I think Jack Campbell will take even a bigger step forward. I'm pretty good there. Now, if they want to get, like, special hybrid linebackers, again, like a James Houston player, where in your specific downs, I don't mind that. But I'm not too really worried about the LBs. I think that Alex Anzalone did a really good job. Is he the greatest linebacker? No. But I think Jack Campbell will take a step forward year 2. And I'm good with Malcolm Rodriguez, and I'm good with I feel like they did a pretty good job there. But it's time. It's really time to finish the D-line in the corner position. It's time. Now, what is your number one position you think the Detroit Lions need to fix on this football team? Put CB if you think cornerback, DE if you think edge, LB if you think linebacker, G if you think guard. Let me know in the comments below right now. Blow up the comment section what you think this team needs to get better at. I think number 1 for me is cornerback. I think 2 is edge. I think 3 is guard, 4 is defensive tackle. Doesn't really matter. I think cornerback needs to be addressed, and it's kind of like everything else, right? I think cornerback is such a big deal. Field goal kicker, cornerback, edge, cornerback. So a lot of people are in the same boat. Zamboni, Theo, Ricky Bobby, Josh Prince, Kurt, Sean Bentley, they're all Sean Bentley, pass rush mobile quarterbacks. My God, Sean, you're correct. And I don't know how they're going to fix that. It's not really a personnel issue. It's more of a scheme issue. Maybe if we get some better players, again, Afutu Melifonwu can help out with these mobile quarterbacks. If they bring back C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he could help out. I think a Jalen Reeves-Maben linebacker can help out. But you're correct. That's got to change in 2024. Look, if we don't change that, we're doomed. We're doomed. I'm going to tell you why. $5 by Ed. What's up, man? Man, you have been a subscriber of mine for a very long time. Thank you so much, man. Combo breaker! Justin Matabuke single-handedly would upgrade the whole defense, not just one position. Hey, I'm not opposed to it, man. I'm not opposed. I'm going all in, and we got money too. Now, it currently says 48, but we can make that 58 with Tracy Walker, and you could even move it down with a contract of Jared Goff. Tracy Walker is going to get released and or he's going to get his pay cut, and that's going to free up some money. I really want to get better here. That D-line is it's huge. Yeah, that's how I opened the show up for you guys. Let's talk about the defensive line upgrade right there. You really, really love. Got my end all the way. Let me see what's going on here. You're saying my audio is down. It's all the way up for me, but you're correct. It's not. Let me see if this changes really. What if it does that? No? I'm not sure why it does that. Who do you think? But I can't really get it much higher than this. Really can't. Who do you think gets a contract upgrade? Upgrade! Jared Goff, he's going to get a new contract. So he'll get a contract upgrade. I know that you need another year. You have another year with St. Brown, but I feel like they need to pay him right now. Well, this offseason. I feel like St. Brown should get a contract upgrade right then and there. Penei Sewell still got that fifth-year option, but remember that St. Brown doesn't. He was a fourth-round draft pick. I think they should pay him. I think they should pay Aleem McNeil as well. That's something they can do for the Detroit Lions. I think those guys should get upgraded. Yeah, I think it's time to St. Brown. I know he's got another year left on his rookie deal. I get it. I understand it. But I want to keep, when you have a guy like St. Brown out there, my volume up more if I need to. Okay, thank you, Lisa. Maybe move my mic closer to my mouth. Let me turn it up. I could do it up like this. Let's see if that goes up. No, doesn't go up more. So yeah, I'm not sure. But when you have a player like a St. Brown, getting to my point here is let's pay this guy. You just pay him. You know he's going to be on the field. You know he's going to be doing everything he can to do it. Pay him right now. I know he's got another year left in his deal. Just pay him this offseason. And look, if you want to even do a Sewell, I know he's got that fifth-year option of next year. You could do it for sure. I don't mind paying Penei Sewell. Is Hoodie? I don't know, man. I have no idea. But oh, it's Goody. Okay. But Sun God's got to get paid. He's got to get paid. And that's just the way that I see it. I mean, we could all talk about the other free agents, the smaller guys, in which I don't mind, but we got to pay our own guys too. And it's very important. Yeah, we need to get an edge, and I think that Danielle Hunter, is it just me, but he's destined to be a Detroit Lion. Danielle Hunter, 28 years old. I think other teams will be afraid to do it because of his age. I don't think the Detroit Lions will. I think he is perfect for Detroit. Oh, my God. If you got Danielle Hunter and like a Jalen Johnson, the defense would be a lot better just off that. I could say that maybe we win 13 games this year. This past year. I don't know. I got to look at the schedule this year. I think that, 11, 12 wins. We may be a better team, but it may be a win-loss record because the schedule is harder. So just an FYI there. And the NFC North is harder, just an FYI. So it doesn't mean that you're going to be, like, if you were to win 12 games in 2024, it doesn't mean that you're actually, or 11 games. It doesn't mean you're worse than this last team. It just, it's difference with when it comes to scheduling. I think the team will be better, obviously, talent-wise, all that. And we don't know injuries. The injuries can always change things. But talent-wise, I do think it'll be better. You could trade for talent, too, just like Josh Prince says. And I have no problem with that, depending on the talent. We got draft picks. Now, we don't have the greatest draft picks, right? This is not the same old Lions team where you have a top 10 draft pick. We're talking 30. Okay? We're talking the 30 range. So, and that's each round. But I have no problem with them trading up or trading for a player if it's to help the team. We're so close now Thank you, Sean. We're so close to, I mean, we literally got to the NFC Championship. This team's good. There's a lot of good players. So you don't have to do a whole lot with the roster. Bring back the depth players and get better at corner, edge, and DT. And you have free agency in the draft to do that. I mean, 3 players, I think. If you're to get 3 players on defense, 3 new starters, I think this team is significantly better. You're going to go from, like, say if you got a Danielle Hunter and a top-tier defensive tackle. Say you got a Chris Jones and you got a Danielle Hunter and you end up getting a Jalen Johnson. This defense could be a top 10 defense just with those upgrades. I mean, if you had it like a Chris Jones, Danielle Hunter, Aiden Hutchinson, and Lee McNeil, that may be the scariest defensive front in football. That may be the scariest, and you get a Kool-Aid, Brendan, yeah, in the draft. That may be and you could do that in free agency. That would be the scariest front in football. And then people fear your defense. Guess what? When you have pressure from the defensive line, you get turnovers, and you have guys who can get turnovers. Kirby Joseph, Afutu Melifonwu, that's currently signed. Brian Branch. Say if they didn't want to bring back C.J. Gardner-Johnson, you're like, we're going to pay that money to a Danielle Hunter or a Chris Jones or a Jalen Johnson. I don't think that a lot of people would be upset about that. Yeah, he's gonna demand a lot, but if you want to go to a Super Bowl, Joker, you do it. We got the money to pay. We have the money to pay right now. We do. Now you got to think about future contracts, but Danielle Hunter's 28, so maybe do a 2-year deal for a big contract to Danielle Hunter for a 2-year deal. You do a Jared Goff extension, and you're gonna maybe pay him $30 million this year, but $45 in 2 years or something like that. You can make it work. They can make it work. I want to see him go all in. And so you're like, you know what? We can't get a Chris Jones. Okay, then get a top defensive tackle somewhere. You can find somebody that can help this team out. That'll be a massive upgrade from what we had this past year. There's other players you can get. We can get both Vikings edge and Bears cornerback 100%. Why not? Josh Allen 25. Why not? Take a look. I want to go all in now. Like, I generally don't do that, but this team is close. Can we get to 75 likes? We're at 66, 165. We're close, folks. And when you're close, let's go all in. Like that's my thing. And it's not going to hurt our draft. We're not the LA Rams. They went all in for trades and giving up their draft picks. See, we don't need to do that. We could go. We don't need to do that. We have the money in the draft picks to just stay kind of where you're at. We got free agents you can pick up, so you don't have to go that crazy all in. You don't have to, and you're still going to be really good. I mean, so that's the way that I see it. That's the way that I see it. I like the idea. I mean, that's just me, though. You know what? Maybe we're completely different. You're like, no, man, Mike crazy. We don't want to do that. And that's fine because we all have different views. Folks, if you got questions that want to be answered, how about you go ahead and ask me right now? We're going to do a QA section. We're going to do some QA. Let me get my mailbag thing on here. Let me get this bad boy up for you. You know what it is? Hashtag I can see it. Hashtag Lions. We will get it. We will do it for you. We will do it for you. We got a super chat, about to bring it up. It still hasn't posted on here. There it is. From my guy, Ed. What's up, man? He dropped a $10. Got it. Ed, $10 super chat. 2024 is the year for vengeance. Front four, Hutch, McNeil, Justin, Metabuke, Houston, draft offensive line early, cornerback, middle of the round, free agent, Justin, an average cornerback. Please have coach play the player's strengths. I think everybody kind of agreeing with you. I mean, we may have different players, but we all know what this team needs, Ed. And you're correct. Edge, interior, corner, and go all the way. Thank you for that $10 super chat, my man. Deep threat. Are you talking about like a wide receiver, like a Mike Evans? He would be enticing to pick up, but again, we need to get better defensively. Would I like Mike Evans? Yeah, but I want to get, like, if they were to do it, I'm not going to be upset about it or anything like that. But I personally would take the money and go for defense. Who the Lions signed back from our own free agent list? Oh, I got it quite a bit. You can look at Graham Glasgow, Josh Reynolds. You can bring them back. James Houston. You can bring them back. Dan Skipper. You can bring him back. There's a ton of free agents for the Detroit Lions. C.J. Gardner-Johnson's a free agent for them. There's just all sorts. We got a lot of free agents. I'm missing. There's like 20 some. There's just a ton. But yeah, you could bring some of those guys back. Will Harris, you're not gonna bring him back. Charles Harris, not bring back. Romeo Aguilar, not bringing him back. Chris Jones is a free agent. I consider him a really good defensive tackle. Let me give you every defensive tackle that is free agent. And some of these guys are going to be franchise tagged, and I don't think that Jones will be. So I don't think he'll actually be a free agent. DJ Reader, Fletcher Cox, Glover Stewart, Sheldon Rankins, Justin Matabuke, Baltimore Ravens, a hell of a player. That's if they wonder if they'll franchise tag him. Christian Wilkinson. There's some good ones. Let's see. Grover Stewart. Defense wins championships. If we had one, we would have went to a Super Bowl. Isn't that crazy to think? I agree with you. What are some of the main things the Lions will try to do over the offseason? CS Sports, I would suggest getting better at the cornerback position, edge position, guard, and defensive tackle. I think that's going to be the strong suit for this team. Hashtag Lions. Lions are one of the poor tackling teams in the league. How much of that is players versus coaches? Well, tackling, I'm going to have to give it to the players right there. I mean, I'm sure the coaches are telling them to tackle. Hashtag IGB, do you think that this is the year they finally lose Will Harris? Yes, he's not going to be back. He's not going to be back. Max Crosby is a Raider, and he wants to stay a Raider. They're not going to trade him. I'd love that Max Crosby, man. That'd be great. With the amount of injuries we suffered in the all-line, it would be our best interest to draft replacements. Yes, no, 100% agree with you, Ed. I agree with you. 100%. That's why I put guard as a need. I think they could bring back Graham Glasgow, but you still need to get another guard, right? You could sign maybe Evan Brown, bring him back too as a backup. But you do need to get a guy in the draft, develop, and Jonah Jackson may not be back. So those are the things they got to think about. 100% guard is a need. It's not a want, it's a need. There's a want, or there's a need, a guard, a need of one for sure, a want of probably two after that. Learn how to stop the mobile quarterback. Man. Yeah, I'd sign Donovan Peoples-Jones. I'd bring Donovan Peoples-Jones over EQ. I think Donovan Peoples-Jones better than EQ. Yeah, Donovan Peoples-Jones, bring him back. Hashtag of FGB. Let's see. We also need to draft the next generation center for Frank to mentor. I don't know. That could be something they can do like in the 5th round. If they're wanting to go center, you probably want to go later. You don't want to go early. It would be a little bit later because Frank, I don't think he's retiring this year. But if they wanted to get another one that could play both guard and center, that's drafting a guard, right? Guard that can be universal and play center. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a center, but someone that can do that. We don't need DPJ. I want Donovan Peoples-Jones. He was on this team already. I thought he did all right. It's not going to be costing you anything to bring him back. Donovan Peoples-Jones will be cheap. Not going to cost you much as a depth player. What, 4 or 5? I don't mind. Like, depth players are not going to cost you anything, and I don't mind it. Any depth players, pretty much anything, I'm not going to be upset about. DPJ is a depth player for the Lions, and he did all right. I have no problem with it. Let's see. I think the Lions let Jonah walk. I don't know other teams. Yeah, I think they do. I think they do have him walk. I'm going to put this on my list. There's top 20 free agents I want the Lions to sign. Jonah Jackson's not in it because I don't think he's coming back. That's pretty much my real belief system. I don't think he's coming back. And that sucks because he is a good player. Thanks for the hoodie, Mike. Phil, you got the hoodie, as well as my guy, 9 Drinks got his hoodie. And I think someone else got a hoodie or a shirt and then a blanket. So yeah, I hope you got it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Do you think the chance of signing Chris Jones this offseason, they have a chance? Yeah. Do they do it? I don't know. They have a chance? Yeah. Do it? I don't know. There's players we all want, right? And we never get. And that's just part of the job. That's part of this. Let's get to 100 likes. I think we got 185 in here. Let's get to 100 likes. We would have the biggest butts in the league. Hey, I like big butts, and I cannot lie. For females, though. But I tell you what, man, we got the big boys. Look, I always believe in building the defensive line and a defense and having a defense, and it's just been a really long time since we've had that. And so I'm tired of having a bad defense. I am, and I think you guys are all wanting to go. Let's see. So I was getting hit up by the Huge Show. So I'll be on the Huge Show today for a couple hours. So I'm doing a lot of radio as of late. So I'm be on the radio today for a couple hours on the Huge Show. I'm going in studio. So if you listen to the Huge Show or you're West Michigan, I'll be there for a while. So that's going to be nice. So I got to leave here. Let's see. What time do I got to leave here? So I got to leave here by 2:15. So, and then I got to go on the Huge Show. Then I got to come back. I got to finish the video for tomorrow. I want to get that video really up. It's really important to get that video up there. Do we re-sign Goff this offseason or wait till next year? This offseason, Jonathan, we're going to re-sign Jared Goff. Jared Goff will get re-signed this season. He's earned it. He's earned it. Period. You got us to an NFC Championship game. It wasn't his fault that we lost the NFC Championship game. It wasn't his fault. The Lions, he did enough to bring us to a Super Bowl. He did what no one's is done, so we good. $5 Super Chat by Weeman. I want to see Dan Campbell be wheeled out in a wheelbarrow so he can carry them around for the first home game. He's talking about his gigantic pair that he's got. Thank you for that $5 Super Chat. I don't know, a lot of people get mad about going for it, and I think it's I'll get mad when dumb ones, but I'm not going to be mad about being aggressive. I wasn't too mad that he went for it on some of those in the NFC Championship game because you're going to win some and you're going to lose some. It's Dan Campbell, right? We wouldn't even been in the NFC Championship game if it wasn't for him being aggressive throughout the season. So that's why I'm not mad about it, because without him, we wouldn't have been there. Is he perfect? No. Should he go for it every time? No. Can we get angry? Yeah. He's a great coach? Yeah. So it's one of those deals where it's It is what it is. 499 super. Brandon Robinson dropping a super. I say we keep Moseley, depth at cornerback. Pick Jalen Johnson or Snead. I don't mind bringing Emmanuel Moseley back on a slow or a prove-it deal, 1 year tiny deal, not worth much. I don't mind doing that. I'm not going to pay him any extensive amount of money, though. No, it's not going to pay him extensive money. Jalen Johnson would love to have him out here for sure. Man, that would be good. That'd be good. That'd be really good. That'd be good. Let's see. Could you come in 3, 2? Whew. All righty. So I'll be there for a while at the huge show. A couple hours. I like it. I like it. Get to 100 likes. We'll do an ultra combo. We're 19 minutes away from that. So go ahead and smash that like. Get rid of Reynolds. 2 first down drops. I see. Here's the thing. You can look at them and say that those drops were brutal, and they are. But are you going to judge Josh Reynolds just on that? Or are you going to judge him for the past year? And I thought he did really good the past year. He had horrible drops, man. But I don't know if you don't bring him back just for that. I don't mind him as a depth piece. Yeah, they're bad. They're horrible. Horrible drops, man. But I still like him. Who's your top 2 cornerbacks the Lions should try to sign? Jalen Johnson and Adoree Jackson. I think those would be the 2 guys I would look to sign right there. It's going to cost you some money, but we got to get a corner, man. They got to invest. And I like Cam Sutton as a number 2, but damn it, we got to invest better. We got to get better at that position. And it's hard. I think the best way to do it is to get a corner in the draft, but generally speaking, corners are not good right off rip from the draft. So I want them still to draft a guy, like to be the Darius Slay of the future. They got to get one of those guys. But we got to be good now, too, at the same time. So I think you got to double dip draft and free agency. Yeah, yeah, Josh Reynolds is really good. He just had a horrible championship game. He did choke at the highest moment of the game. He did choke. He did. Even Laporta and St. Brown, yep, they both did drops. St. Brown had some drops as well. So it is what it is. I mean, you know what it is. Like, everyone's going to have their bad day. You unfortunately had it at the worst time. I was hoping the Raiders would make another ill-advised decision for head coach, one that would have Crosby requesting a trade. I feel he would, oh, my God. Wouldn't you love to have, dude, if you had Crosby on the other side, I'd oh, my God, he is a wreak of havoc. I'd love to have him, but they're not going to trade him. I'd give up 2 first-round picks for Crosby. I'd do that. Yeah, I was hoping they would go and hire Dan Quinn or something like the Commanders did. By the way, Commanders are a terrible organization. Some of these decisions these people hire as coaches, you're out there, you're getting Dan Quinn, you had Mike Vrabel. A retread of Dan Quinn, who has done nothing. Mike Vrabel went to an AFC championship game. What's up, Dern? What do you think about Josh Reynolds to come back? He had 40 receptions, 600 yards receiving. I don't mind him come back as a depth player. Yeah, I don't mind it. As a depth player, okay, we're not doing significant money here. Depth competing, right? You got St. Brown and you got J-Mo as your 1-2, and then you got Khalif and you got up there. You could bring Josh Reynolds, DPJ, whatever you want. So we're good to go from that standpoint for depth. Depth. Not saying starters. Saying depth. Please don't kill me on anything else. Let's get to 100 likes. We are 12 away. 100 likes, 12 away. Keep going. If you got questions, do hashtag Lions. Hashtag Lions anything. Hashtag. Again, if you don't know, Lions hired a new defensive lines coach. Great news for Detroit because our defensive line, I felt like we're struggling at some point. We got to know him. We only have a handful of people that are going to be at the Pro Bowl because some of these guys didn't want to show up, like Jared Goff. He's probably just exhausted. And I'm not mad. I don't care. Are you guys even going to watch the Pro Bowl? I'm not watching it. Probably won't watch it. Maybe I won't. Do you guys actually watch it? Let me know in the comments. Duran says we think we get Equanimeous St. Brown in free agency. I mean, look, if you're talking about a number 6, I don't mind him being on the team, or a 5. Other than that, I'd rather have Josh Reynolds and DPJ over them. And right now we got 3, right? You got St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Khalif Raymond. Those are they're under contracts. They're good there. So then you're looking at 4 and 5. So Scotty Montgomery, the run games coordinator. I think he was. Was it like last offseason? I forgot when they hired Scotty Montgomery. 3 more likes away. 3 more likes away. Crazy MF. What's up? I love it. The Ricky Bobby with the crazy name. EQ is not good enough to be in the Lions. Like I said, he'd be like a number 6, maybe a practice squad. I know that sounds bad, but I know everyone likes him because he does the show, and I don't like if he wanted to be a number 6 or a practice squatter. I'm cool. I don't care. More excited. It'd be better to hear just for the show itself. I'm more excited about the Senior Bowl than the Pro Bowl. Yep. Watch the Senior Bowl. Would you rather get a free agent upgrade, the whole team, or just one position? Ooh. Upgrade the whole team or just one position? Man, that's it. How about the position is a position of need, and then I'll take that player. But I think we need multiple players in free agency. Corner, edge, DT, for sure, right? You're talking about Matt Buquay. He could kill two birds with one stone or 2 stones with one bird. I get it. We'll see. We'll see. That's a tough question, though. I really want to get another corner, another edge. I really want Danielle Hunter. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of like I got like a free agent fan crush on getting Danielle Hunter over here to the Detroit Lions. That's the guy I want. Don't get me wrong. Q's not great. I don't think would bring back DPJ. Oh, so you're thinking that they would take him over DPJ? Okay. Well, I mean it's half dozen, whatever you want to call it. We're talking about backups of the backups, right? Like, it's not that much of a drop-off, right? Like, you're talking backups of the back. I guess we're splitting hairs here, when you're talking about that. But, which it is what it is. I prefer DPJ. Maybe you prefer EQ. Don't really matter. Phil says offensive line, guard. Yeah, guard, edge, corner. Those DT put in there as well. What do you think about James Houston coming back? Should the Lions cut his... Nobody's talking about it, but what do you think? I think James Houston, because he's coming back. Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back. Mike Evans is a free agent, so you don't need to trade for Mike Evans. You guys got too cocky towards the end of the playoffs and are excited, a little naive, thinking Brock Purdy's 49ers were weak. I don't think they were weak. It was one bad quarter. The Lions were up 24-7, so, I mean, I don't think anybody expected that. Did we lose? Yeah, it was a good game. I mean, I'm not up. I mean, it sucks that we lost? Did we get cocky? No, I don't think it. Lions fans are extremely humble. Like, if we say we're going to win, it's not like, oh, we're cocky, we're going to beat you. It's like, I have confidence in my team that we're going to win. Do we think that we're better than every other team? Dude, we're talking Lions fans, man. Lions fans are like the least cocky fan of any sport besides the Chicago Cubs. I mean, we almost got to the Super Bowl, so it's not that naive. If somebody said the Lions are going to go to the Super Bowl or if the 49ers are going to... I ain't ripping on 49ers fans saying they're going to win the game. Why? Because They won the game, and they had a good shot to win it. And it's not that really that cocky to say Baltimore Ravens fans thought they were going to win, and they lost. Is what it is. I mean, it's a game. It's any given Sunday or, any given game day, whatever you want to call it. Any team can win in the Nationals. It's not college, man. Any team can win in the NFL. You have your picks and you have the ones who you think you're going to win, and you have your matchups and all that. But this is not this is not college where it's shocking, right? Like in the NFL, if a team wins, is it that big of a deal? If say the Green Bay Packers, they beat the Dallas Cowboys, no one was expecting that, but is it massive of a shocker that happened? Not really. So, I mean, I guess a shocker, but is it massive? No. Why are so many Lions fans still continue to believe that Goff is not worth the max contract? He's going to get a big contract. Lions fans, here's the deal when it comes to contracts, okay? Lions fans want to save money in the cap. Whoever gets a contract, Lions fans want them to save money in the cap. It has nothing to do with the player. They want to save money. I do too. If there was no cap, I could care less what a player gets paid. If there was no cap. I can't even tell you exactly how much Dan Campbell's getting paid as a head coach, or Ben Johnson, or Aaron Glenn. Why do I not care? Because there's no cap ramifications. That's why we don't talk about it. If there was no cap ramifications for NFL players, I probably wouldn't talk about it that much. But there is. That's why fans want lower money, is to save cap, is so you can have more players on a team. So it has nothing to do with the player. If you could get Jared Goff for $5 for a 5-year deal, I would do it, right? You could save money in the cap. But that's not going to be the case. It's going to get paid a lot more than that. So that's why fans. So I'm not even going to get fight over cap space and how much. I personally look, if you could pay Jared Goff $50 million a year and it would cost zero against the cap, I wouldn't complain at all. I won't even talk about it. But it's just the way it is. There's a cap, and that's the problem. Let's see. Mike Evans is one. He's still good. But remember, he is a free agent. He's not. And they'll probably bring him back to Tampa Bay. You'd think they're going to bring him back, right? So they got money too. So he's a free agent. I expect him to probably be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. If he was much better than C.J. Gardner-Johnson, if he was playing great. What he is, was better or is better? I'm going to go with is better. If Futu Melifonwu, I say is better than C.J. Gardner-Johnson, but you can never have enough playmakers. That's my thing. Like, you're never going to hear me complain. If they were to bring C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, I'm not going to complain, right? It's like he is a playmaker. But I would say if he is better right now. I know we need to focus on defense, but the Higgins is a free agent. Do we think? No. I'm not going to get in. No. Here's the deal with that. We just talked about cap space. You're going to have to play St. Brown a lot of money. Jameson Williams eventually will get a contract. We'd have too much invested at the wide receiver position. You just can't. Just can't pay that, in my opinion. Our offense can move. We can score points. We're top 5 in scoring points. That's not the problem. It's our defense. We got to get better defensively. And say you were to get a T. Higgins, right? And you pay T. Higgins a big dollar. How much better is our offense really going to get? Would it go from 5 to 3? Maybe. But we still need defense. Like, we got to get defense. Vildor, in my opinion, is a backup. We just were so bad in the secondary. That was our starter, right? I wouldn't mind Vildor coming back as a backup. I don't want him as a starter. We need to get better. We need to go above it. We need to get better. And we just hit 100 likes. We have got to get better at the corner position. So I don't mind bringing some of these guys back, but not as starters. Vildor to me is just, I don't mind him. Like, if there's an injury, he comes in for a game or whatever. Yeah, that's cool. I don't I wouldn't be butthurt about it, but I wanted to not see Vildor as a starter for 17 straight games and then the playoffs, because that means we didn't upgrade that position good enough. We need to get better at corner in a big way. Big way. J-Mo, yeah, does he need to get better? Yeah. Does he need to work it? Yeah, but he's good. He showed this year that he's good. I think he's only going to get better, right? He was getting better in contested catches and physicality, blocking. We know what he can do in the deep routes, but he's looking pretty good. I'm happy for it. Is he St. Brown? No, he's not. He's not as good as St. Brown, but no one really is. St. Brown's so good. It's nice not knowing draft prospects in February as a Lions fan. Usually 50 mock drafts by now. A certified supply chain professional, usually I've dropped 50 mock drafts. I will be dropping a mock draft next week. Mock draft 1.0. I'll be doing it next week. Tomorrow will be free agents, top 20 free agents. I'll drop that tomorrow for a Friday's video. Next week, it'll probably be a Friday video. Maybe it'll be a Monday video, mock draft. I'll do a mock draft next week. There may be some changes, too, coming up to my professional, because I'm thinking about making some changes for YouTube. But we'll see. We'll see going forward, because I feel like I'm doing quite a bit. I need to lower my amount of videos that I make, not on this channel, but maybe on LNU. We'll see. We'll see, because I want to kind of slow down a little bit. I'm doing a little. I'm too busy. Too busy. I work 6 days a week for 20 straight weeks, and I'm exhausted. So I need to slow down a little bit. Folks, we've been on for about an hour, and I got to go to the huge show. I got to drive up to Grand Rapids and get ready to be on the radio. So if you're local West Michigan, 96.1 is where I'll be on for a couple hours. Huge show, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Just go on the internet, search Huge Show. It's West Michigan's 97 won the ticket. So I'm on there for about an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes today. So it's the equivalent of 97 won the ticket, but for West Michigan. So I got to get ready to go there. Talk Detroit Lions football.